every single space. That is why you would hear people paying hundreds of days. We had something around. He was live in the studio with me, and then of course we had what's going on in that community, and then how the people have been Makoko to Tᴏɪᴛᴛ. And I've always said it, the basic need houses. It is probably because you cannot afford those houses that's in millions of naira, and they're putting all of those. Big shout out can have decent. He's even talking about that. I'm talking about a civil servant that solely depends on a 2-bedroom apartment in a decent location, wants to start his own life. How many people can build housing solution in? It is basically about the fact that it was raining, and then I saw a lot of, and I'm like, if you tell me to live in for 10 years, 20, 30 years, and that Ikorodu, somebody joined me about 2 weeks ago. We also moved from Makoko and, Maroc. So it boils down to that. Where do you face? Where do you turn to? Some of those people are actually without, including the people that are not afford luxury in those cities. And it comes island. My driver cannot afford to pay rent in Banana. How do you place all of those? So I'm missing that. And then we'll be glad to be here today. There's no way you want to paint issues of maybe JVs. Oh, the government should do something about house rent availability.
And I grade every year is Nigeria is a country where we always, so it's just as if like, you know, to lay their hands on whatever that is available. And that's what is happening now. For example, just like you rightly said, if you're using Lagos now as a case, and the thing is, Lagos is close to 3 million housing units, and that falls on the government, because the government has actually, there is no proper regulations on building luxury. Ikoyi now is out of the Awoyaya. Now you can see what 50 million to buy a 4-bedroom in, to feel like, okay, just building for profit making. So because just imagine, I save up my money. One of the funny thing now is parents, grandparents used to build and even buy houses. Out to the Lagos State House of Assembly, they're coming up with some innovative.
To say with ourselves, how workable are those? I've seen some of those bills being pushed on the floor of the Lagos State House.
Yes, you know that's part of the problem.
It's difficult.
You know the thing is, and that's one thing I was telling someone. You know, the thing is, one of the problem is government has failed. Let's say, let's control these. Like, okay, within this, like a friend was telling me, per annum, and in the so he has tried to wait for. There is no proper policy guiding all these increments. So your landlord can just. So I think like there is still much for the government to do regarding providing good policies that would not just only is. If you look at the like at Nigeria as a whole, like their services. Do mortgage banks? So they even fair? Let's put it within the context of we genuinely, legitimately that you can buy a land. Now they are talking of urban malls and Ijebu waterside already and everything.
People are from Lagos joining Shagamu already.
You understand? But you know what? Tell people, just imagine the railway system that connects Lagos to, it is meant to help urban modernization, because you can get that on that train and join we have bad roads. So, and you understand, walk in Ibadan or even walk early as 6 o'clock. So now think about the cost of living. There was an article I wrote when and everything, and I wrote an article like, you know, what we need to have on these people is cost.
But they cannot afford to live on the island.
You get it. So the cost of transportation going, let's just put our air
just to close
Monday to Friday. Do you know how many people that work on to save cost? Then they go home maybe on like weekends, Friday evening.
And the Monday they
come back again. So the thing is, we need to Dubai, New York City, and everything, but the living condition of our citizens cannot bring that to light. It can never. So many people are sleeping in. There are so many drivers of all these multinational companies. They sleep in the bus of the car every day, Monday to Friday. They are trying to cut costs constantly, putting his head somewhere, and at the end of the day, the law catch up with you. So like, governments can do. And one thing, if we are to be sincere, is the fact that all over these welfare and subsidies, ability for them to provide adequate housing citizens and some private business investment.
But you talked about the fact that housing is now a luxury, and whether you like it or not, it shouldn't be that way. Yes, if you want me, I shouldn't have a decent accommodation over my shelter, affordable to the people. It's in partnership. If you speak to people, adventures, we have to get into public private partnership. We have to make all of these available. About the sentiment of low income earners or mid income earners or drivers, or still do the government get private investors involved in it's crazy. So how, I mean, that's wild. This is of 5 staying in 1 bedroom. So it's not like they're comfortable in that space, but at least you know that when you go out, you're not sleeping under the Balinde Bridge, neither are you on the island. Family men that they cannot shuttle between mainland and the island every day. Family bonding because of survival. Really suggest the government should do.
Now the thing is, I think the government is all on and you're just doing one.
That's significant.
Yeah, so but Nigeria is a country whereby, you know, like we like this also to build a luxury home. Because, okay, if you build imagine, if the Lagos state government, let's say maybe in areas like land that we're giving out to, you know, once you build, you put it up for either a rent-to-own scheme, or maybe it is also coming in, or maybe the Bank of Industry is coming in. Thing is, I don't blame developers sometimes. Do you know the interest rate, even the bank interest rate, is very, very high.
That is biting on you.
That I have to pay back. You. So now, but you know, if you get counterpart funding, the government is a bedroom. We want to bring maybe 30% of 3 million naira. So, or let's say, okay, bring 530,000 every month.
Till you wrap up the payment.
Till you wrap up the payment. That's like, is out of it.
At least.
From wants to invest their money. It's that, okay, you know what, I want to invest on something that would give me
they want to just spread it.
So they just want to spread it. And in that cause, they also feel like, oh, they're also doing something for humanity. We need individuals to come on board. We need reputables, even reputable real estate company. Okay, I have a house of my own. I have this little capital that, you know, I want your 100,000, your 1 million, your 2 million, your 5 million. I know that maybe in the next like 5 years, they were so happy to invest in stock. How many? No, you know, the thing is, you know, one thing to which the elite benefits the citizens from flying with human development. But people don't know. Even if you tell an average, like, okay, bring this deposit, you pay this overtime and overtime and overtime. And Nigerians would not get that information. So there are some need to explore. And something the same way. It is not going to do everything. Oh, luxury building. It is just for men. We also need to be compassionate. And let's start solving this solution. When you see their housing units, what we use to build just 4-bedroom duplex. But here we just build because we want to. Nigeria is not the government can't do it alone, especially when it comes to housing solutions in Nigeria. The government and investors or even developers start looking towards the housing providers for the housing deficit in Nigeria.
I hope a lot of people would think, oh, there's a drill like, oh, if you put in 100, you can buy a bag of cement for 8,600 naira today and wake up tomorrow and it's already 9 million. Those are the things that I'm not taking side for the investors. See, have the minority controlling the wealth of the world. The majority should also. It has a lot of meanings beyond just being a political statement. You look around that bridge, and I saw people coming in to lay carton, a taxi or a bus to my destination. I'm talking about 9 p.m. People were already can function. Bringing all of those factors together. Also need to understand the fact that there are low income earners in Lagos. There are almost no income earners also in Lagos, and they should also have a life. Let me also take it back to, my next line of question. Finally, admitting to the government, not do it alone, to the people. Built and sold by the
is all business. Providing solutions or anything. So those are part of the question and expect different results. So that is why I'm always focused on the new approach. That is what that has brought us here.
Where we are.
So let us now look beyond the government. Okay, most of the luxury houses we see everywhere, are they being built by government?
No.
So it means that financial capacity for project development is not doing it. And we have the capacity to. Okay, for example, sir, you understand? Why are they not saying like, oh, what they have? I feel like people don't know. Not even in the next 10 years or hundreds of thousands of people keep coming into Lagos every day. And that is connecting Lagos. If we have good roads, and do you know that from
when it's fair on you,
we have a good road network, it takes 2 hours,
45 minutes.
we're talking of even 30 minutes. There's nothing stopping me living good roads. Do you know even the funny of the traffic? Ada to V, these are part of the things. So now people are trying to done by the government. And with the Lagos Mall,
one of the most sought after locations in Lagos right now, the Beju land going for as high as 60 million. If we all agree that the government difficult it gets for the government, and that's those are the business investors see and the welfare of the people. I want to invest, and I see that the government is not doing enough. I pump in money in there. I want to cash out as quick as I can, and the government cannot meet up with these responsibilities now. Should we now start taxing some of these multinational companies in terms of, okay, you know what? Income or low income earners. What about that? You made mention of the fact that, maybe you have to fix it. But how do we get more? That's a fact. How do we get more from these people?
It still boils down to the willingness of. But are we really that way? No. You don't see, the government is not seeing it as a problem. Solve a problem. You can give a solution to a problem. So it's not like Nigerians are not on the street protesting. It's not as if like maybe there are housing deficit or anything. Do you know the numbers of people in IDP camps? Then it comes to we the private citizen. Because irrespective of anything, we all need each other. Everything going on. The government is focused on maybe, okay, we're handling security. If you are not safe, how are you telling me your problem is housing? So first you need to be safe. If it is possible, then they need to.
People want to share their thoughts on this conversation. But let me ask you, the Federal Secretariat, for instance, of that, do you think that the government should start converting about that? By the way, before you respond to that, I know a lot of people want to get up on this one, but it's okay. We'll open the phone lines very soon. Your live on mainland solutions in Nigeria, and my guest today has been Mr. Sɪᴛᴜᴜ. Is an into participation, bringing in the private sector. We like it or not, we have housing problem in Nigeria across every state. My guess, what that means is that there are almost about 20 million families that cannot afford a decent housing, shelter, like we always choose to question. I've seen quite a lot of organizations to the government. Maybe the people cannot just occupy it anyway. What do you think about that, Mr. Atosi?
It's a wonderful idea, and that's why I say like the next thing anywhere for you. A country, you understand? A country that is that the next thing to do. So that's why it's also funny. We have like big issue, big housing deficit, and what think we want to do this, but do we have plans for these people? No. So isn't there a way that investor to remodel these buildings so that the governor says, okay, if maybe they will demolish it,
and there are housing deficit
benefit of the citizen. So that's why I said it like in all of this whole thing that you will not see the involvement of the government in everything. In as much as
okay, so let me go personal with you, and thanks to have on this conversation and then time, and being the project, believe like people like you are not for people like us. People like you probably make houses that the government is not doing enough. Let us abandon the government. Let the property developers, real estate developers. Is there a way you pay and 50 units and then you pay a certain amount and take over? Can we tax?
I do say like if housing for Nigerians, because this day anything. They are just like victim of circumstance. You understand? I do find it. I feel like even as because when it like acres of land, they have of creating solutions to. But now the thing is, that will be more affordable for the city. About all that, let me put my head. So everything. So we can also, there was a time, and
if
it
you are
is
leaving,
more
you carry your tea and you go away with it.
You get it. So we just need to be creative and take developers, individuals as investors. There is this maybe 50 acres of. So come with your proposal. Maybe the LBIC or other. It is there. But what we need you to do is, you are going to see a whole lot of people come on board to take up that project.
But is there trust between the Ghana? That's what it is. The government, you have a project at land, and the government says, start with your own investor, by the way.
Yes. Government, it is about interest. I have somebody that's the job. So sometimes you look at it, empathy first. I feel, and sometimes because of change of development that they foresaw, is now boils down to empathy. That thing is going to affect me. Times development will come. Yes, just them village extension. Just like Molish, where do you expect them to go? So rather than helping people get out of the housing problem,
pushing
more people. At least now I have a house of my own. Gone.
They want to push it.
After the demolition of
is it truly for public
now will benefit to in all of this. But for we calling on maybe rights.
Sure.
It is the right of the government. But now if the government, it is as of
it goes
or we are regressing. We should not make profits. But we use maybe and you move on to the next one. See now on the mainland wants to do either Ogudu-Ikeja, GRA, Maryland, Surulere, Bagada. You understand? That's where the money is. But who are going to buy all these things? Who stays in Songo? But you have bought a house for yourself. But it is still a problem for the society, not just the government alone. We need to step in and start.
Very much. Well, I know we'll have to get those the guy. I said, houses are my friend Ola of Lagos. He will tell you the one that you will love it, and then you will go and buy the apartment. Nobody's even saying luxury apartment. Just give me a decent apartment. And once you or high-rise buildings, they could come in different formats. I've seen a big building because if you perish, we perish. We are moving in. Said you did not provide accommodation for these people, and then you have buildings. That's how they want it. Maybe Bonds Breed. That's your own. But as a government, I've given a land market Nigeria. It's a very sought after. We've talked about PPPs, JVs, and how the government will have to be. You can do this one. They tell you to go and provide the CO4. We have already seen your messages on Facebook. We'll read all of those as well. Let's talk for 10 for calls. You're live on Milan FM.
Let me start from your last comment, the issue of South Africa. Okwayemi can't belong to government. Let us use government. We should let it individual. Government properties are abandoned to the government because they'll say there is a to her.
Okay. Thank you very much for the conversation you're having today. And your guest has put my house in Ikorodu 4 years ago. We were just a few houses in the estate. Now, my house is being pushed to the back because all the other lands in the estate are investors from Ikorodu. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, I came to Lagos in 2002. And what I used to hear is, what's the name of this former governor, Jack Conde? Jack Conde Estate.
Jack Conde Estate, yes, Abeson.
Housing in those days, your state as of, since then. Look at God bless you. In all the local government in Lagos State, do you know what would have done? So for me, I think government are not really trying to provide affordable housing, not the one that they will finish and give it to their friends to be selling or to be renting out for the.
Hello, good evening.
You're welcome.
I'm Shamka.
Okay.
Come and see the kind of house. Okay. Take your time. Before I called you, I wanted to. Hello?
I'm with you.
You don't know the number of houses that's in that Abuja. Okay, let's imagine that one that's here now, as you are talking now. That over 4, 5, 7 years, nobody has lived in that house, and the house has been completed. And here you see all of them. Oh my God. See this country, just like what you guys said in this video. And the day they explain Nigeria to you and you understand, that day you run mad.
Thank you very much.
The more you look, the less you see.
Thank you very much, Osti. I'm trying to really manage time because we have a lot of messages. You're welcome.
Good evening, sir. Your guest has spoken so well, and my contribution is that our I know that the former occupied, and God help us that will care for
13600 government cannot do a lot. Just like you said, but what exactly is the government doing if they round? For landlords that increases house rent, Esbala from Moe. Hello, good evening.
Actually, your guests have spoken well.
Thank you.
But what I discover in this country, El Dorado, like we can never get there. Every month, they remove our drive for loan to build your house. Give me my money that I have, nothing is done. I think see Nigeria as a market will do things right. Will do the needful for, but it's like It's like until date I need to collect my NHS from Federal Mortgage Bank. I've not been paid my money. And nothing.
And you did not get house.
No house, no nothing till I retired. So what are we saying? It is only God that can help us.
Thank you.
We the helpless. Have a wonderful day.
Let me read the messages that we have on Facebook. I will have quite a lot of them. Okay. Okay. Alhaji Subar. Hello, good evening.
Hello, Mr. Boy.
You're welcome.
Good evening, Alhaji Subar.
Good to have you join us.
Yes. You see, my view on this matter, you see, it's very simple and it's direct. There is no hope. Look at what Dagon did build in Lagos. When you now talk of affordable houses, where the government supports, now Lagos does not have land, we understand that. But to make environment conducive, that is why we are calling the attention of the government. Look at how much they are selling cement. If you do your statistic in Lagos today, the people, that is the statistic. You know, one time, he decided to be living in this, my guy has got into VI, where you don't tell him. You understand? So that people can just live anywhere in a Shagam, make the place, conducive or, more tolerable for people, for easy access. So that is why I said there's no hope for common people. Look at what the last man said.
Because John Hollis Anumba says, good evening. We have a government in Nigeria that is for the elite. The government should have empathy on middle class and low income citizens, upon that they are the people that hardly increase because at least 5 years. I want to let you guys know that majority of our politicians have no fear of God. They have narrative, and stop recycling the politicians that we have. We're live on Mainland FM. We've got more calls to pick.
This is Wale calling from Ayobo.
Mr. Wale from Ayobo, you're welcome.
On this case of land, housing, look and kind of Lagos. You will see houses being built. But the major problem is that can the government do something to move and follow sector? People have all that. Not see the look at population of Lagos State. Most of them are living in places like this. About the government. Can you?
Ooh.
And your crew in the house. Some people are me too. I'm a victim of this NHS issue.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know where to go to even make a claim. So I've been. But let us increase the house rent. If you look at the cost of cement, so Tinubu made cement at 2,000 something. It jumped to 5,000, then to bricklayers. So those are the areas that the cost of living has been skyrocketed. That people cannot afford anything. Cross Island, that Ogba, you look, was Asala and a corn. I came to Lagos in 1975. This is 50 years ago. So all this, and he opened everything up. That's the government of the day, and any government that coming.
Texting, and he says, can you tell me it to start demolishing houses? Is it that the same government that will be enough and affordable for the masses, considering the rate at which prices of building materials keeping and discouraging investors? Lagos is so obvious, to say the least. Paper of extra 150,000 now from 300 to 450 in Yanopajao. He brought today. He didn't speak like a private sector operator. He spoke like someone that is for the investors would have to put in their money where their mouth is. So I bless Milan FM. Thank you very much. That's Ayola from Back Cause.
Please, Ataripo, the house was built I mean, it's a new house, but they didn't paint it. I mean,
Package.
950, yeah, 950,000.
In Arepo.
Yes. Now he spent 400,000 to paint the house. Please listen, he spent 400. Guess what? I mean, 4 months ago, make it exactly 1 year, and the landlord now sold the house. So does it mean that he was just waiting for people to come and take the house for 1 year and paint the house, and then he now sold the house? So my brother is refusing to leave the apartment. Please, what should he do? Thank you.
Mr. Sanusi, over to your table. You have to resolve this one, because I have no. This is a conversation that a lot of people are affected directly. What do you think this?
Yeah, that's totally wrong.
Organized private sector, we need to wait in affordable and available housing solutions to some of this problem. 28 million housing deficit is a lot, Mr. Oluwatosin.
Working. You see, one of the problem over the years is we keep hoping, we keep dreaming, waiting for that time to come. But I'm not telling you,
it's not going to come.
It's not going to come. So now landlord this landlord that. These landlords that are increasing rents, doing all the things, they are not falling from the sky. From us as individual first. There are some people who still have like this empathy for other people in them. They don't just increase their rents anyhow. There are good landlords out there to start working. I don't know when it will be truly renewed. I don't know when it's going to. Situation where we are in Nigeria, we provide our own security, our own water, our own light and everything. So if it is going to cost us cheap and collaborations between focal point for government to see it, so that they can also wake up to their own responsibility. Like I said earlier, providing housing, it is part of the core objective of the government. A businessman wants to make money.
I mean,
we can only just need to regulate this sector.
So ask if the community, the CDA is to mount street gate at each house and find the house. Thank you so much, Mr. Sanusi Oluwatosin, for being my guest on the show today. And we've looked at bridging the gap between affordable and thank you. My guest is the project director for Land Market Nigeria. And of course, he's an international real estate consultant. Thank you for being a part of the production. Next up, 7 p.m. Thank you very much once again. Big Politics. Sheigumi will be my guest from 1 to 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Don't miss that. Stick around.
When the airwaves in your market